Well, I started Scott's Hot Rods and Customs when I was 19 years old in Southern California. Born and raised in California. And when I started Scott's Hot Rods, honestly at that time, I didn't have a product line to speak of. I wasn't making suspension parts, wasn't making chassis. I was actually at that time doing whatever I can do to get in the door to pay the bills. It's my life, it's my passion. But here is where we do all of our inventory of all of our raw materials that we stock, our motor mount kits that we sell, ship out, 40, 50 pairs of mounts every other day on average. 4-bar kits. Over here, this little 61 Impala is in from California. It's on one of our chassis, but right now we're doing the headers and exhaust on it right now. So we build all of our own headers here in-house, 100%. And then once that gets done, it goes across the parking lot to our hot rod shop over there. These are chassis that are done, getting ready for pickup or shipped out. This one just came out from powder coat right here. This is actually a Dodge truck chassis. These are our chassis tables over here. As you can see, they're all mandrel bent with our Baileigh bender. As you can see, we got hard way, easy way on here. All our brackets are all laser cut, and our laser cutters that we have here in the shop, flat laser, round square tube laser. We're a TIG only shop, so everything's 100% TIG welded here. All measurement tube X members you can see, so we're very big on that. All of our fixture tables here, none of the fixtures actually weld to the tables, everything bolt to the table. We have multiple different fixtures and toolings here that we do, and like this is a C10 chassis, and then over here, 64 crew cab Chevy truck chassis long bed being done. A little bit different over there. So this has a 2x6 rail. You can see right here, the height right here. 3/16 wall thickness goes into a 2x4 section right there that actually slides in, so it's not a butt weld. And this uses a double rail tube X member, as you can see, top and bottom mandrel bent tube X member there. This is our mandrel bent rail rack right here. These are the next batch of rails that are getting done with the chassis over here. So we have them pre-bent, ready to go. This right here is a 1950 Mercury airbag chassis we call the Super Slam chassis. And again, big on the Baileigh bender. I mean, this rail from back corner forward is all mandrel bent one piece. And then we actually kick it in right there. You can see all the brackets, laser cut it, machined rod ends, machined A-arm tubes, slam bags, Ridetech shocks. When I say super slam, so when you let the air out, it lays flat on the ground, 100%. You can see here, now this is a little bit more complete. This has full exhaust on it. So again, we build our own headers, exhaust systems here. This is an LT4 motor. So I came out with a suspension product called the Scott Super Slam IFS. It was the first independent suspension on airbags that you can buy as a kit in this industry. And I was told by everybody and their mother who was in the business, not going to name company names, but other suspension companies, that I was not going to sell. It's a liability. Airbags suck. Airbags are useless. You're never going to say, who wants airbags? Well, as we all know today, airbags are probably very, very popular. And I can say this, we have over 47,000 kits in the market worldwide since day one on the Airbag IFS kit. So it's been like a grand slam for me. So from there, I started doing chassis, making the different chassis of different years, ride heights for a 33 Chrysler, for a 32 Dodge, for a Model A, for a 55 Chevy, for a 66 Dodge truck. And that just really brought our name in the bigger, broader business of making chassis for different vehicles. And then it was billet parts, then it was machine parts, then I bought CNC machines and so on. We got 9 CNC machines here. We manufacture all of our parts from making custom one-off parts. Right now we're making our remote reservoirs right now, our brake pedals, gas pedals, hood hinges, our 4-bar rod ends here. So we start with 2-inch round bar stock, 304 stainless steel bar that's all CNC machined on our lathe machine thread, machine body you can see right there. It's American made here in-house. We machine our rod ends, so not imported from overseas. So we have 7 machines here. We got our manual Bridgeport mills over there that are used over there. Round and square tube laser right here. So this is where, like here, we're cutting all of our cross members for our IFS kits. So this is all laser cut here. We do the holes, the caps, the notches right here on our process done right here. And we got the flat laser. Now this cuts 200 to 300 inches a minute on cut quality, and it's just night and day. I invest my money in tooling and equipment in my company. And that's kind of been my drug of choice, from day one. We have our weld out stations here. We do all of our IFS kits, cross member kits, 4-link kits, 2-link kits, fuel tanks. This is our Baileigh 42 tons press brake. Bought this back when we were in California. It's used every day. It bends all of our brackets that we cut out on our flat laser. So everything's all pre-bent, ready to go. It saves a tremendous amount of time. Very efficient. You set your backstop on it. You hit that backstop, you can just bend, 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 bend nonstop. Very good machine. And it's a lot busy with our product line that's growing, expansion, the Baileigh mandrel bender. I mean, it really kind of helped us go to that next step on how we made our rails more efficiently, cleaner, sexier, and a lot of our clientele drew to that, liked it. And so it kind of helped us get that next level there, in my opinion. Great machine, very efficient. Really kind of gave our chassis a whole new, just really awesome look to the actual monument rail. Everything flows nice and clean now. Yeah. And then it was so great, we bought another machine. So we have another Baileigh bender right here as well. To give you an idea, you know, we can bend 50, 60, 70 pairs of rails a day, compared to prior to that, taking 2x4, doing a miter cut, weld, sand, bevel, metal finish, and all that. It would take 4 days to make a set of rails for a chassis. So that's where it really kind of took us to the new level with that Baileigh bender in our shop. In this shop over here, this is our new hot rod shop that we built this past year. So we moved our fabrication of building the cars from our shop you saw earlier over here. We keep our sheet metal tools in the middle of the shop, and we do it over here because it's more efficient that way, because your guys can get from all points of the tools, walk in the middle, rather than going across the shop, carrying it. For being right here, it makes it a lot more efficient that way. Good old handy Polmax that I've had for over 20 years. We make a lot of all of our own dies for it and stuff. We're pretty easy to do. Got our little Baileigh bandsaw that we use to cut all our sheet metal with. You know, then we have our Baileigh brake right there. It can bend up to 14 gauge. We do 16, 18 gauge primarily. A little hydraulic shear cuts all of our sheet metal. And we have our magnetic brake that we used to use quite a bit, but we don't use it as much, but we still use it though. Still a great machine to have in your shop. And then we have, this is actually a notcher right here from Baileigh as well that we use once in a while, you know. Good little machine to have. The first thing I noticed was the affordability of the tools compared to what was on the market at the time. That small little power hammer at the time, which I think at the time might have been $24,000 if I remember correctly. But your next choice for that was actually, we found our original Yoder hammer that can be anywhere from 30,000 to 100 grand if you can find one. They had that little 42-ton press brake that we have that they had too. I forget what it cost when I bought it, but it was affordable compared to the other ones on the market. But it was also a miniature version of a big one, and we didn't need a big one for what we're doing. Baileigh, they post videos or stories of shops that you never heard of before. And there's a lot of talented people out there in this world, very talented people that you just never hear about, that do excellent work. Baileigh has a radar out there where they're actually watching. If you're doing something that's good, they're gonna post you. And it might be something they post that has nothing to do with what we're doing, but it's cool to see. So that's the part that Baileigh is really taking social media to a whole new level in the metal working stage and the fabrication stage of the social media stuff. These are just different builds that we're doing for our clientele all around the world. We specialize in metalwork. Things are metal finish and shaped, and you know, we gap everything to a 3/16. But you can get an idea on the sheet metal I said, and everything in the shop here is in a bare metal finish, you know, for a reason. We don't have a can of Bondo in this shop. Here's a gorilla we machined a lot of billet. You can see I designed that, machined it here in-house, across the parking lot. And my dad always taught me when you did metalwork, you want to metal finish it, you know, as much as possibly as you can. So I didn't have a can of Bondo in my shop at the time because one, it's just too damn messy. So I was running in a bare metal finish. And that's kind of where, you know, I started doing the sheet metal work very in detail and depth. Our little Blazer, one of our full chassis. This is set up for autocrossing, road racing. Carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber fenders. I mean, they fit like shit, to be honest with you, but it's light. And you can kind of see inside here, you know, we're pushing out about 840 horsepower. The way this is set up. We actually have a guy that does drive the Blazer for us because honestly we're just too damn busy. His name is Tony Taylor. Kind of give him the green light, drive it like he stole it. You know, it breaks, but it's how we know if our stuff fails or works good. These are our little 47 Ford convertible. This is on one of our airbag chassis, lays out. Got all distressed leather by Steve Holcomb here in Knoxville. Kind of goes with the whole patina look on the outside. You know, this is a cool little car. Our G10 truck that a lot of people already know the truck has been around for since 14. Pretty well-known truck. It's got about 200 body miles on the truck that we had to build a certain way so the vehicle can fit in good guys' semi-truck to be hauled across country. People don't realize that. And our 82 Blazer, that's it's got our coilover suspension on it, all four corners, all brushed chrome by advanced plating. It's got our mirrors on it that we machine, a lot of billet parts we make on it. And then this right here, probably my favorite is my two-door Suburban right here that I've had for a while. This is painted over 20 years ago. This has a little LSA, in it, and 6-speed manual. All the inner fender walls are just stock. Inner fender walls have just been powder coated. Kept it really stock on the hood so it looks like it appears to be stock, but it actually, even though it's not very streamlined, it's a big old fridge. We've had this about 150 miles an hour on the interstate. My legacy in this world for me is to have my son have a better life than I ever had, and to make that the best I can make. And then with my company here, I have 37 guys here, and the company's gonna be around for the next 30, 40 years. Making that in line where it's happening with the right people. And so that's gonna be the legacy, is that we're gonna continue what we're doing. And we learn stuff every single day of the week, every day. And to the day that I quit learning, you'll see Scott's Towers building horse trailers for a living, which will never happen.